Hey everyone, so today we're going to do a little tour of the house and see some of the key features that we had made accessible for me. We did all 36-inch doorways throughout the entire house, dishwasher and counter height, key feature that we're going to talk about. A few other features in the kitchen and the bathroom, so let's get to it. In the kitchen, we found one of the important things was full-size versus ADA dishwasher. The ADA dishwashers are a lot smaller, and in order to keep the full-size dishwasher, we kept our cabinet heights at 33.5, I think 33 5/8, and luckily this just fit. And that puts our countertop height around the outside at just under 35, I think 34 7/8. I wanted also a roll under sink. I've always had one, and it makes life a lot simpler. Even as a para, it's just handy to me. It's all preference, of course, but we also wanted to make it look good, so we were able to hide the pipes and everything. And the cabinet guy was phenomenal. If you would be close to Virginia, I highly recommended him. And this idea was actually from our friends Rick and Sherry when we visited them, that they had this switch that actually controls the hood of the stove, which is handy because even though I have long arms, instead of reaching up and touching the buttons and turning on and off the fan or the light for the hood, I can just flip that instead of actually trying to reach those buttons. We then went with the microwave in the island. Still easy to get to, frees up a little bit of counter space. It's not above the stove where most of them are that we can't reach, so this is another option. And when doing the layout of your kitchen, you want to make sure that there's space between everything in order for you to get around and maneuver. And this was one of those situations that we had the L-shaped island, but we wanted to have enough room between the fridge and the counter in order for me to maneuver in here, still be able to turn and be able to get into the fridge. And we went with the French style door with the bottom freezer just because this leaves enough room for it to actually open over top of my legs, and then I can sit to the side when I open this, or just reach down over. So we moved ours out just a little ways, that way I'm not running into and damaging the cabinets every time I want to get into the refrigerator. Another thing that we're glad we changed in the kitchen was we went from a 12-inch overhang out to an 18-inch overhang. So even after my feet hit the cabinet, I'm still have the counter clear out here. That way I'm not having to bend clear over like this in order to eat and not get everything in my lap. So that was another awesome feature that I'm glad we went with and would definitely recommend if you have a kitchen island and you're going to be eating at it. So in the office, since the new normal is working from home, I went ahead and added some 3-inch risers to the desk in the office. That way I can get under without hitting my knee or having to pull my feet off the footrest to get under and then pull them back up on, which started to be a hassle. And since I'm working from home every single day now, I went ahead and purchased these on Amazon. So in the master bathroom, I'm able to do a standard walk-in shower. I don't need a roll-in shower. I'm able to simply just transfer over onto a shower chair. But I did want and need the shower wand and controls to be right beside where I sit, so I'm able to control everything without having to use something to try to reach controls on the opposite end of the shower. And then she's able to just simply control her shower head above. We also did the roll under sink in the bathroom as well, and nice and neat with the pipes hidden. But the other big feature that she was happy that we did was, instead of doing 4 drawers in the center, we made the bottom one double. That way it holds supplies, keeps them out of the way, and easily accessible. So a little space-saving design of the master bedroom was to have a barn door installed and eliminate a closet door from the master bedroom, and have it part of the bathroom. That way without any door it saves space. And I'm able to have the lower rack for myself and a top rack for Carrie, and shoe racks on each side for both of us. So it's just a simple living room, but with an open design, we're able to provide a little bit more space in between furniture and stuff, so I'm not banging into things. And if you notice all the cat toys, it's from this one and this one. Not like they don't have enough of them. But with the couch, we went with one that has a chase on it, and it's a lot easier to transfer over onto and relax for the evening. So I at least was able to keep my bed, which is still high, but about a foot less than Carrie's bed at her old house, that I practically had to climb a rope to get into. And again, ignore the mess because this was Carrie's office for a while. But the same with the island. I went ahead and I built this table and gave myself enough of an overhang that I can get in under it and eat without having to bend over and spill food all over my lap. So when laying out the house, we also had the spare bathroom. Even though it's not as important, we wanted it to be big enough for me to access, and we didn't have to do the roll-in sink, but we did change the faucet. It was on that end in the plans, but with a toilet, I wouldn't have been able to easily access it. But for in the future, if I ever need to get to the faucet, we wanted it on this side. So in the laundry room, we did have it widened a little bit just so that I'd be able to be in here, open the doors of the washer and dryer, and still not be banging into the wall. And for the access to the garage, we actually had the concrete poured to where there is no threshold. So instead of a sliding door, we did a patio door, which has a less of a threshold to go out onto the deck. And here we have one of the bosses of the house again. And from the kitchen out, there's no threshold onto the front porch, and then just simply a sidewalk around to the driveway with no ramp, and it's just a gentle slope. And also, if I don't want to use the garage, we had the side door poured also flush with concrete, and actually just added blacktop to where I can just park right beside it, get out, and go right into the garage if needed. So in the master bath, I can't.
You're putting so much pressure on yourself.
Why?
Because just tell me what
It's not a faucet, it's a head. We did widen the laundry room just so that there would be room in between the wall and the dish.